Do you remember your first love and all the feelings and emotions that came with it? Well, I certainly do. And after watching Forever on Netflix, you will be inspired to fall in love again. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Lawrence Report, and we got to talk about Forever that's currently streaming on Netflix. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and like as we talk about Forever. Now, listen, everybody and their mama is currently talking about the show. This is all I saw on Mother's Day weekend, which I thought was absolutely incredible because this show is dedicated to the lovers. If you're in love, if you're looking for love again, you will truly be inspired by this show right here. Now, I got to show some love to the creator herself, Mara Brock Akil. You know, she gave us this epic love story of these two teenagers, Keisha and Justin, right? Y'all know Mara from Girlfriends, Love Is, and The Game, right? Now, this story right here, as I said before, it follows these two teenagers, Justin and Keisha. You know, it's inspired by the 1975 novel Forever by Judy Blume. Mara Brock Akil, she puts on a new twist on Forever, which follows the two black teens, Keisha and Justin, in LA as they explore their romance and identities in LA 2018. And I must say, I need that season two. I need that season two pronto. And I couldn't help but notice this show kind of reminded me of some shows I've seen before, which I think is actually a good thing. It reminded me of All American. It reminded me of Bel Air. It reminded me of Swagger. And I think it's a combination of all those three, but even better because I just love the story between Keisha and Justin. You know, they was friends when they was kids, and you know how things happen and you end up getting separated and stuff like that, but then later on back in life you end up coming back together. And this is a coming of age story between these two young lovers right here. And you know, also love how they incorporated, you know, when I say coming of age, they incorporate the technology aspect when it comes to these two lovers right here. Because you know, in this era, so much of the communication is through text messaging, right? And Keisha and Justin, I'm going to talk about each character separate a little bit. Keisha, let's start with Keisha. I love Keisha so much. Amazing young lady, easy on the eyes. I could see why Justin was falling head over heels for her. Like that man was stuck in love, and I love that because I think we as men we need to continue to love our women out loud. And I appreciate Justin for loving Keisha out loud, despite again, you know, this will have spoilers, but you know, despite the whole sex tape scandal thing, that didn't matter to Justin because he still loved Keisha. And Keisha, you know, she has a goal. The goal for her is to get to Howard, right? But you know, there's a sex tape scandal that is kind of following her, but she's going to shake that off. We know how that goes right there. This is a very strong black woman who has her goal set. I'm so proud of her. You know, she's trying to beat the odds literally. And of course you have Justin. You know, these two people, as a matter of fact, they come from two different walks of life, it feels like. You know, um Justin, you know, he's kind of caught in this I guess you could say a legacy, like a legacy type loop. You know, his mother wants him to follow in her footsteps, and he's been raising his PWIs, and he's just not feeling it. And we find out that he has ADHD, and you know, for him, you know, he wants to make beats, but his mother wants him to go to Northwestern, stuff like that. He has to follow his own heart. There are so many complexities between Justin and Keisha's relationship, right? I mean, when you look at them two from a distance, you know, they look like they're fine on paper. But when you pull back the layers of both of these characters, right, it's a lot of healing that they're trying to unpack. You know, they're teenagers, like living on two separate sides of the world. You know, their parents are so heavily involved in their relationship. I think it was another issue that was affected them was the parents were so involved in their relationship. And I know that these two young teenagers, Keisha and Justin, they love each other so much. Like this is a beautiful, good looking young couple. You know what I'm saying? Like they are just. It seems like they're definitely are made for each other, but it's just some things that they have to get over. One by one, and I'm not mad. I gotta talk about this. I'm not mad at Keisha for wanting Howard all to herself. We know Justin was kind of struggling about, you know, I could just go to Howard with you. No, Justin. No, my guy. No, my brother in Christ. No. Going off to college, you know, it's like self exploration, right? You know, and that's something that Keisha wanted, and I'm proud of her for doing that because if them two would have been at Howard together, it just I don't know. Sometimes separation makes the heart grow fonder. You ever heard of that before? So, even with him in Chicago, her out there in DC, I think that is the perfect combination that they really, really needed. And these two lovers, man, listen, they are perfect for each other. It's just that they have some stuff they need to work on individually at the end of the day, right? They were just so young, so talented. They had the whole world, around their hands. You know what I'm saying? And these star-crossed lovers, as I like to call them, I think they're generational when it comes to this type of love interest between these two right here. Like this is a type of rare love, a rare find in love. Like their love to me is kind of like a four-leaf clover, kind of like finding a unicorn, right? Because it's rare to find that type of love. And of course, being a young teen, there's so much emotion going up and down with these two characters right here. And one of the things that absolutely killed me, we gotta talk about this block button. I'm blocking you. No, you block me. No, unblock me. That listen, the technology, I love the aspect right there with the whole block button. That's how we do in this era, right? And we gotta talk about the music. The music was top tier. Like I need the playlist. Is a playlist on Spotify? Y'all let me know down in the comments. I need that playlist. They had, they covered new school, old school R&B, whatever you want to call it. They had it all. That playlist was top tier. Like that was a chef's kiss type of playlist. Now, for me, my favorite episode was the Martha's Vineyard episode because Keisha and Justin, they're going through all these ups and downs in their relationship. Keisha figured out a plan to get the Martha's Vineyard because you remember how Justin was saying that his family go there every year during the summer, right? So I was like, yo, shout out to Keisha for doing that because before they had to break up and then they came back and yada yada yada. But the Martha's Vineyard episode was crazy because you even got Justin. There's a girl who the family kind of wants Justin to be with, a girl that he grew up with. And they're kind of considered to be like kissing cousins, right? Which is kind of crazy because the girl was in so much heat that she wanted her and Justin get it on. I was like, this is insane. And I love how Justin uncle, I forgot the uncle's name, but he was trying to speak truth to Justin, saying, listen, this little basketball stuff, it ain't gonna work out for you, son. Just go to college and do what you got to do. I'm not mad at the uncle when it came to that right there, but just the scenery of Martha's Vineyard. You know anything about Martha's Vineyard? How certain upper classes of Black people go there during the summer, especially during August, right? Out there at Oaks Bluffs, right? So that was my favorite scene. And then, yeah, my favorite scene. And then, not to mention, whenever Keisha and Justin they finally reconnected, they're riding that bike. Oh man, that pulled at my heart. I was so happy for them two right there. And we gotta talk about these parents, man. We gotta talk about these messy parents. I'm gonna start off with Justin's mother. A lot of people has viewed Justin's mother as a villain, and I hate to say it, she is the villain because she wants Justin to follow in her path, right? Because, like I said before, she's considered to be a legacy, and they come from an upper class type family, right? She wants Justin to follow in her path, and she has basically Justin's whole life already planned out, right? Which is kind of crazy when you think about it, right? And the dad, I love the conversations with Justin and his daddy. His daddy was willing to let him make those mistakes, right? But the mom was trying to guard him so much, and I kind of just got annoyed. I'm like, listen, they're kids, they're going to make mistakes. I understand what she's trying to do. She's trying to shield him from the world. I get it. She wants him to follow in her footsteps. I completely get it. But Justin has to be his own man. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that Keisha even tried to tell him himself. Tried to tell him, you gotta be your own man. You gotta step up to your parents and tell the truth that you don't want to go to Northwestern. Kudos to Justin. I love the relationship he had with his father. To me, that was the best relationship. But kind of like the father was basically the bridge in between Justin and the mother as far as them having the communication, right? And when we talk about Keisha's mom is an honest, hardworking mother, working multiple jobs, trying to make sure that her daughter is doing the best she can in these schools right here, right? And you can really see the difference in the dynamics when it comes to the raising of the parents. The parents are literally from two separate train tracks, right? You have one family that's kind of, upper class, a little bit more elite, and you have another middle class mom trying to make things ends meet, with her daughter going off to school, going to these private schools, working. And I love Keisha's mom. Keisha's mom is a lot of moms that I know. I know both sides of these parents. I know the upper elite. I know the Keisha's mom type parents, right? But the dad, Keisha's daddy also, they always say that your dad sometimes can consider to be your first love, right? And I think that Keisha's dad inspired a lot when it came to what she's trying to find in a man. That is my thoughts of Forever, that's currently streaming on Netflix. But hopefully it'll get to that next season, which I know it's gonna be greenlit. We're confident. We're gonna say it out loud. We're gonna claim we're getting a season two Forever on Netflix. So if y'all haven't streamed it, make sure you stream it, make sure you check it out. That is my review of Forever. Shout out to Mara Brock Akil. Great series, man. Great series. I love this show so much, man. I think I'm gonna go back and rewatch episode one, which is my one of my favorites, and the Martha's Vineyard, like I said before, and that ending was very emotional. That man Justin was crying, through his tears. Um, I get it, I get it. But yeah, that's my thoughts, y'all. Don't forget to like and share, hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for tuning into the Lawrence Report.